Hi, my name is Nanna Aida Svendsen, and it is the middle of January 2023, and I am in Sweden. We are returned to the north from a sojourn in southern Spain, and it is it is grey, it is damp, it is cold, and I'm very grateful to sit by the fire on a cold Sunday morning in the north. When I met with Yvonne of Stillness, the publishing house, we were speaking of which poems to read for January, and it seemed that there were two of them, because they seemed to go together. And the first one is called Besieged, and it speaks into the idea of these being very demanding times. I don't know how it is for you, but for me, most people I know, although they're having moments of beauty and joy, are also having moments of struggle, as though unresolved conflicts are in their faces, whether those are collective or personal. And it is here in the north times for the bears to be in hibernation, and that's definitely my inclination at the moment, to draw within, because it does feel like a new year. It does feel demanding, and it does feel like the old habitual ways about going to do with how we go about things won't cut it any longer. Something deeper and truer is wanted and needed, and hibernating time is needed for that deeper truth to reveal itself. So the first poem is about that, about being besieged. And the second poem, Stillness, which I wrote here, Besieged I wrote in Spain, but Stillness I wrote here, is in a certain sense the antidote to the besieged poem. Besieged, whether it's from outer circumstance or our own inner dynamics. And Stillness is the antidote, is what we need to balance that sense of overwhelm. So, my dears, here by the fire on a grey Sunday in January, I would like to read you my two poems. I'll just organise the cardigan here a bit. And the first one is called Besieged. There is a feeling of being besieged. Oh, there is a feeling of being besieged. There is so much to take care of. So many suffering. So many practical things to mend and attend to. So many needs and demands. It is simply relentless. Tears well with the worry and the strain of it all. Do I have the wherewithal for all of this? Do we have the wherewithal for all of this? Some things are simply not negotiable. They have to be done. But others, not necessarily, or not now. Moment to moment, I only have energy for what I have energy for. Moment to moment, I only have energy for what I have energy for. There is a need to be precise in what I say yes to and what I say no to, and when. I can simply not afford to be off the point. I cannot afford to be off the point. Old habits no longer cut it. Something deeper and truer is required now. If heart body and soul are to maintain integrity. If heart, body and soul are to maintain integrity, and indeed even maybe thrive. So that was Besieged, and this is Stillness. Stillness. Sitting by the fire, warming my toes on a still January morning. How I love stillness. How I have longed for it after too many days of feeling besieged. A friend said of stillness, I feel like I'm treading water, going nowhere. For me, stillness is an invitation to dive down into the deep for healing, creativity, connection with my heart, as well as a chance for rest, recuperation, spaciousness, and communion with existence. Meanwhile, outside, a small breeze has arisen, rustling the trees and disturbing the silver droplets left dangling on twigs after last night's deluge. They fall like shimmering rain to pummel the window and the ground below. Thankfully, these movements do not unsettle, and I notice it is possible to have motion in stillness on the outer as well as on the inner, as long as I do not forego that communion with the deep. And when I do, the invitation is always there, it's always there, if I will but receive it, to stop what I'm doing or the way I'm doing it and be still.